It is time to celebrate. It's episode number 50, and this is Amazon Ads Raw Daily. For this small celebration number and podcast today, I was thinking about something at least a little special, and what I want to do with you over the next couple of episodes is diving deeper into psychology and psychological effects, which you can use in your marketing and which you can use on Amazon as well. As people are psychological creatures, and our minds all work alike and similar. And there's a couple of things you should know about our minds, and eventually can leverage that for making better offers, creating better products on Amazon to sell to your customers. So let's celebrate episode 50 with these two psychological effects we dive into for today. And the first one is Hick's laws or Hick's law, and the second one will be the decoy effect. So that's two interesting information psychologically pieces about psychology. Oh my god, this is a very hard English word for me. And this is about information and how people perceive information and receive and kind of work with it. Hick's law, to say it short, is a law which predicts that the time and the effort it takes to make a decision increases with the number of options. The more choices, the more time users take to make their decisions. And this is a very, very relevant psychological effect on Amazon, as you will search for something and then you have plenty of options. And Amazon knows about this problem. So how do they try to solve this with other pieces of information, and or with other informational things like social proof, for example, reviews, ratings, with their badges, bestseller badge, Amazon choice badge, with deal badges, and so on and so forth. So Amazon knows about this problem. And if you give a person too much options to choose from, then he is paralyzed, you could kind of say. So there's nothing a person would then choose. So it's easier for people to choose if you give them less options. So if I give somebody just 3 options, it's much easier for them to choose from the 3 options than from 10. And now pair this with another psychological effect, the decoy effect. This can actually be a strong measurement you can use for your marketing. So Hick's laws says the more options, the more time people need to make a decision. So if you have a product and you have lots of variations, lots of colors and sizes and whatever, it can lead to harder decision for a person. Is this the right product for me? Is this the right color? Is this the right fit? And so on and so forth. So I don't say don't do it, don't do many variations. I'm just saying this is the psychological effect which can affect things. So what you can do in order to solve this is obviously find areas where you have a lot of options or a lot of repetitions, and then try to either reduce the number of options or find ways to hide items. You can think about, do you need to display them all at once? So on Amazon, you could think about, hey, do I need to have all the options in the same parent, or do I create a different parents with different options, and one parent just has 5 options and another parent has another 5? This could be some way to at least start thinking about. If you can't minimize the options, try to put them in an easily skimmable order. Make sure items are familiar, which is not that easy on Amazon. But yeah, you can try that. And the second effect I want to talk with you about today is the decoy effect. And the decoy effect I think I watched a TED talk about this like 10 years ago. Sorry, 15 years ago, which was called, there was actually called the Ugly Jerry. The Ugly Jerry or Ugly Choice effect. And basically it was a psychological study done from, I think it was a newspaper or something like that, where they actually created another variation which was so ugly to the customer, and ugly not meaning ugly, ugly to the customer meaning it was too expensive and the benefits were not great. So compared to the other variation, it was not worthwhile to invest. And what does this create is basically a strong signal for the customer to not buy this product. And that's what you want, because if they know, okay, I don't want to buy this doesn't seem like appropriate, I want to buy this, this can be a strong effect to use. So the decoy effect says you create a new option that's easy to discard. And why does it work? When we are choosing between two alternatives, the addition of a third, less attractive option, the decoy in that case, can influence our perception of the original two choices. Decoys are asymmetrically dominated. That means they are completely inferior to one option, which is the target, but only partially inferior to the other one, the competitor. And for this reason, the decoy effect is sometimes called the asymmetric dominance effect. And the newspaper this was tested was The Economist, and they actually had like a subscription page where they offered like, do you want to have the print only plan or print and web plan? And print and web, I think, was the same price or almost the same price as the print only. And so people choose the print and web plan because the print only was the same price or just a buck less or something like that. So they created this print only decoy because they wanted to sell this other option, and that made it easier for people to actually choose from to choose. How you can use that on Amazon is if you create a parent and you can maybe create a package or something like that. You could create a package. Let's say you create with one product or a 2-product package, and the 2-product package has almost it's just like 1.5 the cost of the other one. So the 1-pack seems like not a good option to choose from, and the 2-pack seems much easier to choose from. In that way, you're selling double the units to every customer. Obviously, it's not that easy, and this is just like an fast thought on how to use it. But you can start thinking about these kind of effects and can start think about how could you leverage psychology in your marketing, where you don't have actually hands-on how products are shown in the search engine result pages. You have limited access to how people perceive your products in the first place. You can set the title and you can set the main listing image, and that's very important. And obviously you can set the price, but outside of that, you have limited abilities to actually choose the scene and the setting for your product on Amazon. And once they are on your product detail page, meaning on your parent listing, then you have a couple of options to play around with variations, using eventually a decoy effect, for example, to make one option not an option you want to sell, but an option which is there. And coming back to our first psychological effect, the Hick's law, making it also easy for people to do a decision, to take a decision, and don't give them 40 similar options which are all looking great, because that's overstimulating their brains and their minds, and they might not make then any decision at all. And with that, thank you all very much for listening. This was episode number 50. See you tomorrow and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.